Live from our studios in Austin, Texas, this is Drinkin' Bros Fake News with Ross Patterson, Dan Holloway, Papa G with the traffic,
How you feel?
Not good.
Yeah?
field reporter Hot Bob, and Delco Dan with sports. Welcome to Fake News.
Damn, what an intro, huh?
Yeah, it's a lot better than yours, bitch.
Yeah, it is. It is. What is my intro?
I don't know. Just felt like
Did I
talking
do
shit.
one? Did I
No.
do an intro for this?
No.
I think I might have done a voiceover at some point.
I say that anytime anybody sarcastically comments on something.
Sure,
Like,
sure,
it's a lot
sure,
better
sure.
than yours.
Yeah, yeah.
And even if it's the same thing, they're like, hey, the house is kind of clean. Or,
Yeah.
the house is kind of dirty today. We should clean it up. Like, it's a lot better than yours, bitch.
Yeah.
Turns out Brittany and I live in the same house.
So there's nothing you can do about that.
Well, there is something I can do about it.
Which
although
is?
I'm not going to. And
Beat her.
Here's why, because she keeps doing nice things for me. Do you want to roll that beautiful bean footage?
Oh, do you have some?
Yeah.
What happened there?
It's, sometimes she just does special things for me.
Sure. Let's see what this is. Oh, that's nice. Is that cocaine?
Just salt.
Hey, what the hell's going on in here? What's with all the noise?
I built you a fucking cake.
A cake? What kind of cake?
A strawberry shortcake, motherfucker.
Yeah. Now that I can get behind, for sure. For sure. Having some strawberry shortcake today in my old cup. I had something else earlier this morning.
Are you making lean?
We're back at it today.
Is that lean? What is that?
You know.
I mean, why else would it be in a fucking 24-ounce or 32-ounce styrofoam
Well,
cup?
you just went through this a few weeks ago. When you go through the housing process at the end and you're missing documents and whatnot, not my fault, obviously. The people in Austin here just refused to work hard. It was like, oh, hey, didn't know I was supposed to overnight that. You sure were. Said at the top of the form, you know? So when that happens, you have a little extra to start the day. But I'm getting through it, kids, and I'm no different than anybody else. So fuck it. Let's do some fake news today, shall we? First up, damn it. Another mass shooting in Tulsa. On Wednesday, a gunman walked into a medical building in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and opened fire with a rifle and a handgun. The shooting was reported around 4:52 p.m. and lasted less than 10 minutes, during which time 4 people were killed. After police arrived on the scene, the shooter turned the weapon on themselves. Is it a man or a woman? We're calling them themselves
It's a
right
dude.
now.
It's a black gentleman. We won't bother with his name, but you can find it.
And then committed suicide. The motive for the attack has actually been confirmed. I know it doesn't say here, but I will say what it is. He alleged that there was a botched surgery on his back and that he was dealing with unbearable back pain and that this hospital was the one to cause it. So he thought instead of suing, it would be better just to go in, shoot everybody, and then shoot himself.
Yeah, it seems reasonable.
Sure. However, this is the, third or fourth shooting now in the last 2 weeks?
Mm-hmm. Third in the last 3 weeks, I believe. And I'll pose the same question here that I've said at any time any of these have happened. Is there a law that anybody could have passed that would have stopped this, including background checks? Now, our understanding is that he legally purchased both of these weapons.
Correct.
You could say that for the rifle that he bought on the same day, some kind of waiting period may have prevented it, but it's not true because he bought the handgun on Sunday, and he would have had it in his possession by the time of the shooting either way. Right. And it's that stuff doesn't solve anything.
What is going to solve it? Because everybody is now asking the same questions, and I don't know what the answers are anymore.
I mean, it's a good question. We made a post about it. Whomever edited the post that got sent out this morning is obviously not very smart about guns, because they gave a super out of context comment like it was a hit piece on me. I don't know why our own team would do that, but whatever. I got in the comments and addressed some of it. I did, but
What was it on, by the way?
on Instagram this morning. Yeah,
Was it a video or?
Yeah, it's a video. So it's like I believe the context was that the point I was making is that the Second Amendment isn't absolute. Like, we can't own nukes and shit. And people say, oh, that's hyperbole. Mm-hmm. If the point of owning these weapons, and I believe it is to protect against an intrusive and oppressive government, then, you know, it and if you're, because I like to ask the question, where is the limit? And I'm not saying that I don't believe in banning any kind of weapon system. I don't believe in that at all. And I certainly don't believe, as I've mentioned many, many times, in the government having that authority. I mean, that's stupid, because they're going to abuse it every single time. But inside everybody's mind that's honest with themselves, there is a limit. I don't think people believe that somebody like this guy with no criminal record, for example, should have been able to go to the store and buy an RPG. I don't believe people actually believe that. I think they will say that because they are deeply entrenched in this Second Amendment absolutist ideology. But I don't believe people, and it's a good way to weed people out too. If somebody actually believes that an ordinary citizen should just be allowed to go buy an RPG, that person has no, like, they're not part of this conversation.
Right.
In my opinion.
But what is going to happen and what can happen? Because at this point, this is becoming almost a daily occurrence, it feels like, across America. And I've gotten a lot of DMs as far as like, well, what do you say, Ross, with a show like this when you have kids? I don't know the answer anymore. I can tell you this, from my perspective, I trust people like you with guns. But are we getting to the point where most of Americans are just fucking dumb, or they're making irrational decisions at the last second?
No, if that were true, then there would be fucking wall-to-wall chaos 24 hours a day, and there's not. Like, yeah, we have an issue that other countries don't, right? Mm-hmm. And the issue is that we do have quite a bit of, I don't think people like to say it's a mental health issue as well. I'm not sure that's true. I mean, unless you consider nihilism a mental health issue, I think it's something far deeper than that. But the point is, Spain and Italy and fucking Germany and England, let's just take those 4 major countries in Europe. They don't have the same access to guns we have, and as such, they don't have the same level of violent crime or particularly gun crime that we do. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Now, they win in that category. If Germany, for the 3rd time in 100 years, just decided to completely go fucking crazy and authoritarian, what options do their citizens have to fight back against that? They have none. They will die immediately, right? Same thing with those other countries. They have no way to fight back against an oppressive government. So I asked the question rhetorically, where's the limit? Because the obvious solution is that the limit has to be made by people. Now, when these documents were first written, the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, they were written by people who were the government. Now the government is not people anymore, and it doesn't represent people anymore. I think that much should be obvious to everybody.
Yeah, because, you know, here's the comments that I'm getting left and right here. And when I say left and right, I mean on both sides of the aisle. Why is it okay to arm Ukrainian citizens during a war? And, you know, we have guns over here, or take guns away over here. I don't know the answer to that.
In this scenario, if we were being invaded, then the military would draft people into military service and give them guns.
Right.
Right?
Right.
I mean, that is a complete false narrative that people are trying to push. Now, I will agree that why are we sending $54 billion worth of shit to Ukraine when we could use that to harden and fucking secure 130,000 primary schools in America? Yeah, 100% I'm on board with that. But it's not true that this situation is the same as Ukraine. Nor do we want it to be, by the way.
No.
We don't want to act constantly as if we're being invaded.
No, but you know, the last couple of weeks, you take a hospital and a school. Both were hardened. Both are pretty secure. I've just happened to be in both in the last few weeks because of having a newborn, and then obviously taking my kids to school every day. In the case of the Uvalde school shooting, it turns out that woman that teacher who left the door open actually shut it, but it just didn't lock properly. So she did shut the door. However, it did not lock. It didn't snap into place. Yeah. And it was unfortunate timing, and we obviously know the end of it. But as far as what continues to happen, if you have to worry that you're in a hospital, if you have to worry about what you're going to schools, I think both sides need to come up with some form of solution, because right now, whatever is in place all the way around just isn't working. And I'm a fucking 2A guy. I own guns and all that other shit.
Maybe it is working, though, and this is the trade-off. So we have the ability to defend, and this is a hard conversation that people don't want to have.
It is. And by the way, before we get into it, I want to say, because people will come after you specifically, and a Tim Kennedy, and a Matt Best and things like that, because you guys were in the military and you have high profiles, where I don't think it harms anything to have a fucking reasonable conversation about guns. But you will take heat no matter what you say, to be honest with you.
The first half hour of the conversation is everybody saying, so what you're saying is the government should decide everything? No, that's not what I've said. As a matter of fact, if you watch the entire interview, I say the exact opposite of that. The point of all this is that there is a solution. Every problem has a solution. Now, it might be that the solution takes 25 years to train new men to be men again, and not be weak, cowardly little bitches that do shit like this. Because that's what this is. This is weakness, right? That might be the case. What are we doing in the meantime to secure that, except for stomping our feet and yelling, shout out, infringe? Like, it doesn't matter at all to you whether or not your community is safe, is what I'm asking you. And I'm not saying, don't reply to me with, yeah, but fuck the government. I agree. So what are we going to fucking do? Right. God damn it, man.
Yeah, because I know people have been coming at you. They came after Tim, who was just on the show the other day about another podcast he did about it. And it's like, if you don't have reasonable people trying to think of a solution, then you just have two sides screaming at each other the whole fucking time with nothing getting done.
Well, that's not entirely true, though. It's not that nothing will get done. It's that the wrong thing will get done by the wrong people. And by that, I mean the government and politicians. Right now, like, I don't hammer the left on this issue because they're fucking idiots on this issue. I'm not adding anything to the conversation by going after leftists on this, because they are very clearly stupid. You know what I mean? Particularly about this issue, but in general as well. But the right's predilection to just stomp their feet, yell, shout out, infringe, is like an old dude that refuses to go to a doctor while his foot rots off, right? Like, you're taking every single day you wait to get involved in this process and help fix it is a day farther that these assholes are in control of your reality, right? They're in control of your life if you let them be. That's why I've always said, and I said this during the George Floyd shit 2 years ago, that the solution to all of this is to get involved and box out the government. The government will come in and fuck it up if you allow them to. And it's not just the doing of the wrong thing that allows the government to come in and fuck up our communities. It is the not doing something about the wrong thing as well, right? Like, neither one of those things can be a legitimate option if any of this stuff is going to get solved. And I do want to be clear about this. It very well may be the case that if we want to have the right to defend ourselves against a potentially oppressive government, or an oppressive government in this case, and we don't trust the government to be the arbiter of that right in any way, right? To identify potential threats and solve them before they kill people, then our options are severely limited. That might be just what we have to live with, honestly. And it might sometimes involve a bunch of kids dying. You know what I mean? That it's harsh. That's a conversation that needs to be had. I don't personally believe that there's any one life that's more important than liberty. You know what I mean? Like, you can't believe that and constantly put yourself in harm's way to protect liberty. I don't believe you can. But people are unwilling to have that conversation. Like, they don't want to say, yeah, a bunch of kids died, but I'm not giving my guns up because for this reason. They just want to say shall not infringe. Nope.
Right.
Nope. Have the conversation, because unless you want civil war, unless you want to be forced out of major cities and living in the woods and shit like this or whatever the fuck is going to happen, people need to be convinced, maybe not convinced so much as taught why this shit is important and explained, yeah, I understand this is your idea of a solution for this problem. Here are all the reasons it won't work, instead of just stomping your fucking feet and yelling, shall not infringe.
But right now, in particular in this Tulsa case, right? This, because it wasn't as sexy as the fucking Buffalo shooting or the Uvalde shooting or whatever you want to call it, it trended on Twitter at number 2 last night. It wasn't even the number 1 story. And then it's gone. This story's gone. I don't even know the people that were killed, the 4 people that were killed. Because
they were 2 of them were doctors.
They were doctors?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
Jesus
one
Christ.
of them was the doctor that I believe that did the surgery on the guy, or that was treating him for the pain, maybe.
Okay. Because it's getting to the point now where we're becoming so numb to all of this shit. If it isn't kids dying in a classroom or elderly people at a grocery store, nobody really gives a fuck about this. Like, nobody's talked about it today at all. That's why we're leading with this story today. No one has mentioned this. I haven't seen any of their pictures, faces, nothing. I didn't even know the gunman. I don't know his name. I don't know his race, anything.
There's a reason. I mean, so whenever it's a person of color, right, that commits an act of violence like this, media organizations will use the excuse that we don't want to publish his name or his picture. We don't want to give him any fame. But when it's a white kid, right?
Oh, it's up there in 10 seconds.
Yeah, it'll be up there for fucking 2 months.
And they'll have his middle name in that bitch,
And there'll be all this cascading fucking additional information about white supremacy and how it affected this. I mean, it's just absolute nonsense. But I want to be clear about this conversation from the other day, and my intent is to redirect, crowdsource for solutions. I don't know the fucking answer to this. I mean, the answer might be that these 5 options are completely untenable or won't work anyways, but just by the community closing its fist, it becomes stronger in some way, right? That might be it. I don't know. But when I say Republicans won't vote for universal background checks because of the NRA and special interest groups and shit like that, and that their supporters don't truly understand this issue, what I mean is that Republicans would take your guns away. They'll take your shit away just as fast as Democrats if it was politically expedient to do so. If it would keep them in power, they would fucking do it just like anybody else.
Yeah.
You can't trust any of these motherfuckers. The only reason they don't do it is because they need NRA money and they need your support. But if you make yourself irrelevant by exiting this conversation, then you've lost the only ally you have, right? And for the people who don't understand it, that's exactly what I mean. They see this issue as having one of 2 solutions. Either the government intervenes, which they're against, and I am as well, or the problem just doesn't get solved. Sorry, there's nothing we can do about it. I do not accept that. I don't accept that a fucking a country that decided to go to the moon and 6 years later was there. Not because of the government, because of fucking super smart people. Some of them Nazis, let's be real about that. But super smart people just decided we were going to go to the fucking moon, and we did it. You know what I mean? Some super smart and nefarious people decided that they were going to start interjecting Marxism and race Marxism into universities a while back, and within a single generation, the minds of our youths are entirely corrupted. This shit can be done with will, and if you admit the fucking problem and your responsibility to fix it. But shall not infringe doesn't do that.
No, and something has to change, because if you look at the last 3 weeks here, we've got 4 different locations. One is a school, one is a church, one is a grocery store, and now a hospital. 4 places that I think everyone in America can agree that there should not be shootings and you should feel safe going in and out of, are those, and something needs to be done, and something's got to happen between the sides. And again, I am a fucking 2A guy. I own 3 guns myself, but there's a lot of fucking dummies out there who are able to get guns and use guns, and there's no recourse for it.
Yeah.
I just don't see anybody willing to come together to try to figure it out.
Well, I think it's because the problem is difficult. You know, it's incredible. This might be the most difficult issue that we'll ever deal with in our generation, because if there's inflation, you raise rates, right? Mm-hmm. Or limit supply. There's ways to fight inflation that we know about because we've done them before and they've worked. When we're at the intersection of decades of poisoning of America's youth, right, with this anti-masculine bullshit that's turned them all into a bunch of little bitches, right? And I don't just mean physical stature. I mean mentally. Their ability to experience discomfort and solve low-level problems and all this other stuff is gone. But there's the gun policy, which I think the gun policy is a canard. I think it has nothing to do with this conversation whatsoever. I bring it up because that's the debate that's happening right now. If you don't want that debate to be the one that's happening, if you don't want to continuously have these discussions about what the 2A is and continue to have to make the point that the government has no role in administering it, which is absolutely fucking true, then we need to solve this fucking problem in some way, right? Get involved and start solving this problem. Because if you don't, if we collect, when I say the two sides, I don't mean Republicans and Democrats in Congress, because those people are cunts. They don't give a fuck about you. They have armed security 24 hours a day. If the 2A goes away, they still got armed security 24 hours a day. They do not give a fuck about you.
Even the NRA the other day, when they had that convention in Houston, they didn't allow weapons in.
Well, certainly not.
But it's like, why? Why? That's what we're there for. Like,
but if you think that us versus them means the Republicans versus the Democrats, then you've already lost.
Yeah, I agree. And because I don't think like that at all. But unfortunately, that's how these fucking laws or bills get passed. And I don't know a way around that right now. The most eye-opening stats that I heard in the last couple weeks during all this fucking chaos that's been going on came from you, actually, where you said there was over 400 million guns in America, I believe.
I think it might be up to 500 million now.
Okay, so
it's hard to say.
For me personally, because I don't keep track of that stuff, when you told me that, and then you think about how many people are living in this country, you're looking at roughly 330 that are accounted for. I don't know how many fucking illegals are in this goddamn country, but with that, that's at least one gun, possibly two per household.
Yeah.
You were right. Like, I don't know how you go in and clean it up and be like, all right, guys, time to give those back. We don't know what you're doing. Like, nobody's doing that either.
Not that
nobody's going to do that.
Not that we should, but there's no fucking way that would ever happen.
No.
That is very clearly not an option.
Not a prayer. So that solution, because that has been pitched as well.
By the way,
that'll never fucking happen.
Valorous here in the chat, the NRA convention does allow weapons. They just not when Trump was there, but that's the Secret Service telling them they can't.
Oh, gotcha.
So that wasn't
okay.
Like the NRA is full of shit, but he's right about that. I read an article about that.
It was Trump's speech that they said, hey, you can't come in with that?
Yeah, the Secret Service is never going to allow. I mean,
everybody loves Trump, though.
If I was the NRA and they said that, I would be like, well, if Trump doesn't speak here, then sorry. Yeah. Like, we didn't keep guns away from presidents a long time ago. Why should we do it now?
Right. Ask Aaron Burr how that worked out.
Well, he got into a duel with Alexander Hamilton.
And won.
And won. He won, right?
So Lincoln was probably the better example of maybe always allow.
He had two Secret Service agents in the fucking box with him. They just weren't paying attention. Yeah. Actually, when I was for my master's degree, they made us do a fucking research paper on that shit.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Was there anybody in the box?
There were two. Well, it was him and his wife and a couple. Like I think there was 5 people total in the box with him.
Yep.
And then there were 2 guards standing outside of the door.
No shit.
And they weren't. They were supposed to be standing outside the door. They had come inside and they were watching the play. And homeboy just walked right by him. Pow.
Yeah. John looks.
But anyways, that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is, you are perfectly within your rights to disengage from this conversation, to justly and rightly say that the government has no authority here, or shouldn't at least, that the left on this issue is completely batshit insane, and you can put your fucking hands in your pockets and turn around and walk away, right? But they're going to be right on your heels.
Yeah. I don't know how we fix it, kids. I've gotten a lot of messages, and especially after the handful of shows we've done with this issue, and like,
well, this is like a 10-hour conversation, and there's still no solution. Like,
it is, man, and like I don't know where that's going to come from or why or how. To be
I don't.
honest
Well,
with
it's
you.
going to come from people having conversations and not being cunts to each other about it.
But you
So-
still got to go. It's like, because I'm with you on the politicians, right? But that's the only way that it's going to legally change is if politicians do something, because unfortunately that is our government right now, and I just don't see them doing that.
Well, I'm glad for that because they would 100% fuck it up. They should not be involved in this at all. The 2A was very clearly written to protect us against the government. Why would the government be the arbiter of the 2A?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense at all. Now, Reginald Rutherford here says, people won't speak up when they notice a child being beaten at home, much less speak up when a neighbor is too much of a dum-dum for a gun. That's a fair point, but here's my question in return to you. What if they did notice that their neighbor was a dum-dum, too stupid or evil or whatever the fuck to have a gun? Who do they tell? Who should be allowed to decide if that person gets a gun or not? That's a serious question, and I don't think anybody has the answer to that. Like, are we just deformed posses?
Other gun owners?
Like, well, how? You're just
How,
going to go
though?
take
You
it
have to
from them?
sponsor. Before you can buy a gun, another gun owner with a license has to sponsor you.
Fuck that. Well, first of all, gun owners shouldn't be required. You don't get licensed for a constitutional right.
Yeah, and hey, the other thing about this too is like there is so many people willing to skirt the rules for $50 that it's like, yeah, I'm not going to say which instance it was, but perhaps
And by the
it's
way,
happened to me
but
where I needed something very quickly for $50. So.
People keep bringing that point up that there should be a gun licensure or whatever. We've dealt with this at the Supreme Court level already, and it was called a poll tax, right? So in order to go to the polls and vote, people were charged I think it was like a $3 tax or 3% of something tax or some shit like that to be eligible to vote. Mm-hmm. And the Supreme Court found that it is unconstitutional, very obviously unconstitutional, to charge somebody to exercise their right. So that's got to be off the table.
One thing I think that's interesting, by the way, when people talk about how do we prevent this or whatever, like, for example, the Cruz kid, the Parkland kid.
Mm-hmm. Nicholas Cruz?
Yeah, I mean, he was red flagged like 100 times. And
And he
fell
didn't
through
do
the
anything.
system.
Well, so was the kid in Uvalde.
Yeah, and
right?
so my question is two things with that is, A, how do you fix the systems that are already in place that we have? And B, I would actually just love to know the batting average because we don't know what it is.
Like how many kids are prevented?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I mean, that's an interesting thought because every single one of them that commits a crime like this guy was older. He's actually kind of an aberration in this scenario. But the three previous to him, the three younger guys, had all been involved with some form of law enforcement at some point. Mm-hmm. Like the other kid 6 months ago almost got kicked out of school for making threats. The one from Uvalde, right?
And even the fucking kid who shot up that high school in Michigan, the football player charged him. That kid had gone to the office like 2 months prior for literally writing that he was going to like shoot up the school. Or something.
Yeah, and that morning he was in the office.
Yeah.
Like,
but what's the? I really want, and feel free to DM me on Instagram or wherever, or in the comments on this YouTube channel. Is it that? I don't want to be a nihilist about things. I'm very critical of people who just give up on problems. So I certainly don't want to do that myself. Is it do for those of you who are Second Amendment absolutists who have been, shit talking us about the conversation we've been having and things like that. What is the scenario that you envision? Like, are we just to accept the fact that there's nothing we can do about any of this? And that sometimes 20 kids are going to get killed, and sometimes a bunch of people are going to get shot up in a fucking hospital, movie theater, or a grocery store.
Right.
Are we just to accept that? And I'm not implying that there are gun laws or background check laws or any of that stuff that would solve it. I'm just saying, what the fuck is your solution to this?
other than screaming out a talking point that is going to do nothing to change the conversation. I did not write that post on social media, by the way. For the audience, we do have a social media team that does a lot of our accounts because we have so many shows on here. So don't come after Dan for that. Who fucking knows who that was? We got 3 people who worked for us, and one of them.
I don't mind.
There's also just like a literal hard limit on a clip you can post.
Sure,
on
yeah, the time
that,
amount,
that helps context escape as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
the point of these clips is obviously to get people to come watch the full conversation, and then even like, especially in this scenario, is to take part in a conversation. That's what I would prefer, because every time I have one of these conversations, I learn something, whether it's how people think about this issue or how they view the other side or how they view the government or whatever it is. It's a good, like, actually I was some guy, I can't remember his name. Hold on, I'll look it up because it was a pretty good conversation in case you want to scroll through there. Patriot Defense Gear. I don't know if sounds like a company that probably sells guns or something like that.
Yeah.
Or something. We were kind of going back and forth. You know, it's
What were you guys going back and forth about, by the way?
well, obviously he watched the video and thinks, like, people always assume the worst.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't just say shall not infringe, hard stop, then they assume that you're for gun control, that you're for whatever the fuck government encroachment. Obviously you could watch any of these fucking videos and tell that's not true, but there do come points in the conversation where people say pretty interesting shit. Like, here are all the things that we can do to harden the sites. And I don't remember if it was him or somebody else that made the point that we need some time, right? We need to create some space between us and this problem so that we can solve the issue with our young men. I think that's probably true. The only way I can see to do that is to completely lock down all of these sites. That's one. But there's quite a few more grocery stores than there are public schools.
Correct.
And quite a few more hospitals as well.
Yep.
Well, there's not more hospitals, but there's a lot of them.
Yeah,
right? That's a big. Now, if we're gonna do that, I'm down. And we could start by not sending money to fucking Ukraine and securing our own people first. I think that's probably a good idea too. But what else, right? Like the same argument that's made about guns and knives. So if people didn't have guns, they're just going to stab each other. Absolutely true.
Yeah.
People will find a way to kill each other, and if they're not doing it at schools or whatever like that, they're going to go to shopping malls, right? They're going to go to fucking like our airports are not very secure, right? There's a couple of uniformed police walking around, and there's a fucking response team nearby. But for the most part, like, if you walked in there with a couple of dudes in long guns, it would be a bad time for everybody, and they would not be able to respond all that great. So, are we going to lock down our entire country? Like, every single facet of public life? Like, how?
And by the way, that has been a question that is posed by people who want gun control, where they're like, so what's the next step? What are you suggesting, that we just lock down every single thing that we do in our lives so that we might not get shot?
And here's the same problem with that. Who oversees that process?
Right.
The federal government. And the federal government now has control over a system that has every fucking facet of public life locked down. That is not a solution. I'm sorry, it's not.
Yeah.
So we're back to, do we throw our hands up and say, well, we don't know what to do, so our kids are just going to die? You know what I mean? I don't believe in that nihilistic bullshit.
I don't either. One last question I have for you on this subject is, like, just for you personally. Why is it whenever clips or conversations about 2A come up, they automatically go after guys like you and Tim Kennedy online for just even breaching the subject of, like, hey, I think something should be done?
Well, it's because they're smart. And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean, they understand that this is that our way of life in general is under attack, and one of the best ways for the enemy to further that attack is to take away our ability to defend ourselves. So they're extremely touchy about anybody that would encroach on their ability to defend themselves, and that is a good instinct to have. They don't spend enough time trying to actually solve the problem, right? So they see somebody that they thought was on their side or should be on their side, or whatever it is, they think that person's a traitor if they go outside the party line. Well, that's what we have to go outside party lines. Siloed information and fucking feedback loops and shit like that doesn't solve anything.
No.
Like, you challenge yourself. I don't give a fuck if people have shit to talk about me. Like, that's fine. I sometimes if it's clever, I enjoy it. When it's pedantic and annoying, I don't particularly, but their instinct is right, and that's why I'm not too harsh when I go into those comments and start talking to people. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of a dick just in general, so I'll say some dickish things from time to time. But mostly I'm just trying to get them to fucking tell me what they actually think and not just repeat some fucking party line. And the reason that I do that is because I think their instincts are correct. I just don't think the execution is there.
Gotcha. We got some sponsors who pay for the show to be on the air. First and foremost is ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros. 40% off the bundle package right now. That's the adjustable base and the mattress. It's time. It's getting hot out there. Get the cooling mattress. Comes with 2 free cooling pillows right now as well. It's about 15 degrees cooler than the rest of your house. If you want anything else in the entire store, sheets, pillows, just the adjustable base, or just the mattress maybe, perhaps you want a weighted blanket. Type in the promo code Drinkin Bros at checkout for an extra 30% off of everything in the entire store. And as always, for all of 2022, they've got a 60-month pay-as-you-go program, no interest there at ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros, as long as you have decent credits. And you can put all of those deals together with this one and walk out of there with a brand new bedroom set for about $25 a month. Go to ghostbed.com/Drinkin Bros today. Next up, Johnny Gets Justice. This was the story, by the way, that knocked out the Tulsa story off the Twitter top 20.
Oh, yeah, it's much more important that the Captain Jack Sparrow gets $13 million more than 4 people's lives. Sure.
But that's where we're at, right? That's it. More people were caught up in the Johnny Depp verdict yesterday than they were the Tulsa thing. I mean, Tulsa thing was a blip compared to this. This is still going on.
Well, you know, if the shooter had been white, it would be different.
Obviously, but he wasn't. After 6 weeks in court, Johnny Depp has emerged victorious from his legal battle with ex-wife Amber Heard. 38 witnesses testified in the Pirates of the Caribbean star's favor, including former supermodel girlfriend Kate Moss. Still looks great, by the way.
I mean, she still looks like Kate Moss.
Yeah, she does.
If you like that boyish.
Everybody likes Kate Moss.
No, they don't.
Come on.
People don't like it's kind of a trope. That
Around the horn, Kate Moss, yes or no? She's an all-timer.
No.
What was her prime? 90.
The supermodels.
The 90s?
The supermodels at some point took a weird turn and all started looking like 14-year-old boys. Right?
Pull up Kate Moss though from.
I mean,
was she on swimsuit?
Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition kept it going for a while.
They did.
You know what I mean? But now they're like them and Adidas. Have you seen this?
Yeah, they're all super fucking woke. Yeah.
Well, it's like.
Did you see the cover of Sports Illustrated?
No, I haven't, but I did watch.
It's Elon Musk's mom. She was on it. There's a fat woman on there.
I mean, it's Kim Kardashian.
And then there's one more. Is it the pregnant one?
No, well, they're like the Adidas commercial has some enormous black lady doing yoga as if yoga is a fucking sport or something, man. Come on.
Right.
Like, look at, I understand that yoga can be very beneficial for you. I get it, man. And like the meditation part and even the planking you've done, a lot of the body movements are like that. Your core strength will be just crazy on yoga. Yeah, great if you do it right.
Yeah.
But look at the people you know that do yoga and only yoga.
Yeah.
I'll end my statement with that.
I
Just
agree.
Moss.
Pop, there we go. Look at that.
No, show her
Look
with the
at
fucking
that.
show her where you can actually see her body, not where it's blacked out entirely. She looks like a young man.
She is Kate Moss, dude. I mean, that is.
Kevin Walter says, "What about a pre-firearm course have to be operated by the gun dealer?" But still, who oversees all that stuff?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
So this is would be a retroactive solution. I was just thinking about this the other day, like.
Look at that.
No,
that's heroin
Kate
chic.
Moss is
That's
Kate
what
Moss.
they called it, heroin chic through the 90s, and
Yeah.
it's not attractive.
Yeah.
Man.
Well, but times have changed. Like, if you would have asked me if I loved a fat ass 20 years ago, the answer is no. But I love it now.
That's
because,
not true. You would have said yes.
No, dude, I would date. No.
But I would say you were screaming the other day on the show. I thought it was really funny when you were like, you sold a fucking rifle to a guy who looks like the Crow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably that gun shop should be boycotted till it goes out of business.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about all that, but I mean, we need to have some.
There's got to be at least a market retribution.
Yeah, no. I like the tweet I saw yesterday where it's like you have to prove you get pussy before you can buy a gun.
That is actually pretty funny. Yeah, like that's pretty funny. But the gun store in question here, I don't know, man. I mean, like I don't know how he looked that day. I was kind of being flippant with that conversation or that comment, but.
Yeah,
it is a private business that
you don't know what he walked in.
It reserves the right to tell anybody to get the fuck out that they want. I don't know, man. Maybe have a conversation with the kid.
I will say this though: you laud people, not you specifically. Like we laud gun store owners all the time when they don't sell to someone sketchy.
Yeah.
Like there was a guy here in Austin. He actually killed someone in my apartment complex in 2018. Went fucking bananas. Went on a little bit of a shooting spree. Only killed one person, so it's not really mass. But he tried to go buy more ammo at a gun shop not far from this office, and that guy was like, "No, you look weird. Like you're off your rocker. Like get out." And people were like, "Wow, good on that guy. Good on." I mean, there's got to be a bad on that guy too, right?
Certainly, yeah. But there's not we're not mind readers here.
For sure.
And these kids, and I say kids because it's mostly kids, are pretty good at deception. You know what I mean? Like they've been pretending to be people this whole time, and they're not. I'm totally open to that conversation. I do think there's some response. I don't want to blame the gun seller. I want to empower them with the right and capability to do that. You know what I mean? Like to make good decisions. But again, even if that's the case and we let something like that happen, there's still going to be this, and then what's next, right? Like what's the left call for next? And that's the reason that I'm pretty patient with people in these conversations, because they're right about that. You give an inch and they're going to take fucking everything you have.
Well, I mean, that in this specific instance, it's really would only be a solution from the right, I guess. I mean, there's left-wing gun owners, but because no one on the left who's crazy about guns was ever going to shop at that gun store in the first place.
Yeah,
that is gun owners to an extent policing their own.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably a pretty important part of this whole thing. Michael Bears asked if I would rather be a Secret Service agent for Hunter Biden or Don Jr. I've had this conversation before. I like Don Jr., but Hunter Biden's got the fucking drugs.
He's got the drugs and he's got the prostitutes.
Yeah. Well, I'm not worried about the prostitutes so much, but the drugs for sure.
But if you're on drugs, prostitutes is that's a nice thing to have right behind it.
Wash it down.
Nice little bang bang. Yeah. Now, Giorgio, you walked in when the camera was on back there. If a guy like Giorgio walks into the gun shop, I would not sell to him. And I think there you go.
I mean, you don't have to fucking do it by appearance. You can talk to him. Hey, is this your first? What other kind of guns do you have? Oh, yeah?
I've got an old bolt action 22 my dad gave me when I was 8 years old to shoot turtles in the pond.
Yep.
And we moved on.
And that's a hard no, dog. Like, as soon as you're saying you're blowing away turtles at 8 years old, you're gone.
That's somebody that grew up around guns who had a dad in the scenario. You can buy whatever you want.
Murdered.
You're looking.
He's a turtle murderer.
No, I used to shoot the eyes out of birds. People fucking hunt. What are you talking about?
I mean, there's snapping turtles in your pond. I mean, you don't want them there.
Yeah. No, it's
R.I.P. turtle.
You're looking at the wrong thing. So what we know about these fucking turds is that they are disassociated from both reality and society. They are fatherless, and they have typically very little experience as children with any kind of firearms. Right. So if a kid says, "Oh, I've never owned a gun before," I'm like, "Oh yeah, are you in high school?" "No, I dropped out." "Get the fuck out of my store." Right? I mean, honestly, that's probably what I would say to that guy, because those are all red flags to me. There's nothing stopping you from having a conversation with these people if you're a business owner. But again, I don't want to make it seem like I'm laying this all at their feet. This is a community-wide issue, and that means the solution will be community-wide as well.
Sure. Kate Moss, though, you can go ahead and fire that picture up there, Bob. There we go.
Boy.
Man.
Amber Heard over her every day of the week.
Over Kate Moss. All right.
But still, yes.
Yeah.
This is still
both
a hard
are still yes, dude.
It's still a hard yes.
Both are a hard yes.
Kate Upton is the motto.
Yeah, but for the time.
But for the time, you got to go by the times, because it was always different. Yes, I agree. If I had my choice, it's Kate Upton over her.
Have your tastes changed significantly over the years?
Yes, and we actually did a fucking show about it, and I think you can relate this to the gun issue if you want to. I think it's the media and what is shown in your face all the time. But like, dude, me seeing fucking Kim Kardashian's ass for fucking 15 years, I was never an ass guy, and then suddenly I was because it was just in my face all day long.
Maybe that has more to do with you, your hormones kicking in and your brain telling you to have babies, and wider hips being a better birthing canal.
No, definitely not.
That's exactly what's happened forever.
None of that went through my mind.
It's been certainly, yeah, it didn't go through in the front of your mind, but that's what's been happening to human males since human males have existed 200,000 years ago.
I understand, but like, we'll keep this conversation going in that capacity.
Am I Buzz Killington right now? Am I going full Neil deGrasse Tyson?
No, you're fine on this. But what
it.
you just described is everything that's going on in America, where what you're seeing is what you're doing. What is jammed in your face is suddenly acceptable, where it wasn't acceptable years ago. Shit like that over and over again, to the point where eventually you change your mind. You're like, all right, well, fuck, I was never into that. I'll give that a shot.
All right,
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Let's go around the horn once Rob gets back. I don't know. He's in there pounding off. Actually, he's probably...
Yeah, so your Sir Mix-a-Lot thing, that is a perfect example, actually. I don't know if you meant it as a joke or not. But, like, I like big butts and I cannot like... That's the first time I ever heard someone say that a fat ass was physically attracted to them and that's what gets them off. Like, for real. Where I was just like, oh, really?
Women would
a
ask,
fat ass does it?
Does this make my butt look big as a negative?
They used to. Now they don't.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Now
During
they're
that
like,
time
hey,
period.
does
First
this...
off,
Yeah.
Put some respect on Queen, who released Fat Bottom Girls like a decade before.
Oh, yeah.
So you're saying that white people they did it, and black people...
I think, well, white people did...
You're
More
saying Sir
importantly...
Mix-a-Lot stole...
More importantly, a white
that's
gay
stolen
man did
valor.
it. A white gay man
Is
did
he
it.
white, though?
Yes,
no,
Freddie
he's-
Mercury?
No,
No.
he's Indian.
Yeah.
Freddie
No,
Mercury?
he's not.
He's not
Middle
Indian
Eastern.
either.
Man.
He's
Yeah,
Middle
he is.
Eastern.
He's a... Well, his
I
parents
thought
were...
his parents were
think.
from India.
I'm
No.
not sure.
Let's look this up.
Yeah,
thought
look
this-
it up. But it was...
Well, he's technically British, but
and white.
No, he's like
Tanzania. He was born in Tanzania.
Do they have fat asses in Tanzania?
probably.
You better believe
It's
it,
East
bro.
Africa, so probably.
All right.
Zanzibar.
I feel like girls doesn't mean girls in that title.
Oh no, he is Indian.
No, he meant boy pussy.
He's Parsi.
Yeah, I fucking knew it. Fuck all you guys.
boys both.
But still, he was born in East Africa, or he lived there at least,
Yeah.
in Zanzibar. So I would imagine the girls have pretty big butts there. But Lee, somebody mentioned something in the chat here I want to get to.
Sure. Yeah, but my taste changed over the years, for sure.
Somebody asked or said that too skinny is just as bad as too fat. Now, let's go around the horn. Plus 10 pounds or minus 10 pounds?
What do you mean?
On a girl.
Like,
Are you going for the bigger girl in the bar or the skinnier girl in the
Imagine
bar?
perfect. Would you rather have plus or minus 10 pounds?
2 a.m.,
I'm
Bob.
going minus.
Irrelevant. Like this, we're talking plus or minus
But
50 here.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
Giorgio doesn't care.
Yeah, if you're
obviously.
saying 10 pounds, because like you're saying like the 130 is probably like good size for. A
Okay,
guy,
let's
right?
say let's say 25 pounds.
So
then.
are we saying over 200 or under 100?
We'll say 150 to 200.
We're not talking about midgets, bro.
Yeah, we're not talking about midgets, all right? We'll save that for another show.
Damn.
Somewhere under the rainbow.
Yeah.
You saying a
It's right
woman
here
can't
in my
weigh under
notes.
100 pounds not being a midge?
It would be real close.
Boy.
I mean, it'd be real
tough,
close,
man.
yeah.
You'd be too thin.
Whenever my wife talks about like getting back down to pre-baby weight or whatever, she tells me like what weight she's at, and then I just quickly do the math in my head and tell her X amount to go, whatever gets to 99 pounds.
I don't know. There's like
Really
some,
quickly. She's just like, shut the fuck up.
there's like some super fine women that are like 155, 160.
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%,
100%.
yeah.
But like, so let's go to a deuce. If it's between 150 and then a girl who's 200, where are you going? Where's your dick going that night?
150.
Yeah.
Right. Unless the girl is 5 foot. Like, I mean, yeah, 150.
Yeah, but even if she's 5 foot and she's 150, are you going to sleep with a 5 foot girl who's 200 or 150? Probably 150.
Well,
Yeah.
how many holes is that bowling ball going to let me in?
Oof. Giorgio, you got a story, I'm sure. One would imagine. A guy like you, there's got to be a 300 pounder on your list.
No.
In your whole life?
No. There was a good like 5'11" girl from Wisconsin.
Okay.
I got walked in on that, and
How big was she?
What does being walked in on have to do with anything?
nothing,
Well, she
it's
probably
just
carried
that's-
him in because he's very dainty
Yeah,
and babyish.
did she carry you over the threshold?
I was drunk, and I think she just threw me over her shoulder.
Little
know?
fireman's carry.
So it was just a Brienne of Tarth situation.
Very much so.
Nice.
Yes.
Did you knight her afterwards?
No, like I said, I got walked in on the middle by like a very tiny petite girl, and the petite girl was just angry and goes, "Knew it," and then walked out.
Yeah, I would say this person in the chat has a better question where it's like 100 versus 300, or even let's say 85 versus 300. Go.
85.
Yeah.
There's no adult that weighs 85 pounds. Like a super like
A girl with, like, an
anorexic skinny
eating
girl
disorder.
is 100 pounds.
85
Let's
is
do
too.
105.
That's too light.
All right, 90 versus 300.
No. You could easily. 85 is pushing it, but Kate Moss, when she was 19, she was 5'7". That's pretty tall.
Yep.
Or average height, and she was 105 pounds.
So-
Average height for a woman is 5'3", by the way, in the United States.
Is it? Okay,
Yeah.
then she's pretty above average.
Yeah.
At 105 pounds. So if you knock that off and you put her down same body type to 5'3", you're probably looking at like 90, 93 pounds.
All right, so let's just use her as an example since we know her exact stats.
Right.
She's 5'7"-ish, right?
Yeah.
93 pounds.
And
105.
how many pounds? 105?
105.
Let's say 93.
So Brittany is Brittany is 5'6", and I think she weighs like 120. Right.
Okay.
So plus or minus 15 pounds clearly makes quite a bit of difference because Brittany's got a nice ass and big fake titties.
Right, but the tits are fake, though.
Exactly.
way more or
Kate
less
Moss
than
can
natural?
afford fake titties. All I'm saying is, would you choose the one that looks like the 14-year-old boy that's on heroin or the girl with the fucking big ass and the fake titties, 15 pounds heavier? I obviously choose.
Sure.
The
So
15 pounds
if
heavier.
I'm in the 90s,
Or
I
however
go
many it is.
Kate Moss. In today's world, I go the other way. Just because of society has fucking molded my young brain into different tastes.
Kate Moss and Pam Am were the same time period.
Oh, so if I'm going those two, it's Pam Anderson.
Pam Am's was at least
Pam
135, 140.
Yeah.
Again, these are not tough hypotheticals.
No, they're not. They're
95
not.
pounds or 300 pounds. Go.
Yeah. Lizzo.
That's not
Now,
tough.
this isn't
Or
supposed to be an
Amanda Bynes.
impossible would you rather question. We're talking about living your fucking life, goddammit. Why do you have to
Live
take
your
it to
life.
extremes?
Because that's the point of hypotheticals.
Yeah.
No,
and that's
fuck
the
that.
point of extremes. Dan Finley here in the chat saying we need a fundamental change of America, like Barry said. But instead of commie BS, how about one parent stays home and teaches the kids?
I think he means Barry Sotiero.
Close
which
all
is,
the schools.
Barack Obama's real name.
Is it really?
No, probably not.
They've always called him Barry. I was like, maybe it is. Bill Schofield now on the sexual aspect is saying dump trucks for the win. That's how my smoke hammer Brazilian wife got me hooked. That's true, man. We all know that one that kind of got you there. Kim Kardashian's got a lot to do with it. I can promise you that for a lot of people. A lot.
Yeah, I mean, every girl in a fucking America has their eyebrows microbladed because of Kim Kardashian.
And ass injections.
Yeah, well, I don't know. Most people don't get ass injections, but the vast majority of women that I know have microbladed eyebrows.
Yeah.
And it's only because of Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yeah.
So
The Kardashians have changed.
That's-
Where
culture.
they dip a little bit of ink on a razor blade and then slice you
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
to perform an eyebrow.
That's part of just the overall makeup and look, but it's not part of the way their body is.
Sure,
Right?
sure.
That's two different conversations.
No, I get it. But in the case of Johnny Depp here, at that time he was
How did
with
we
Kate
get?
Moss.
How
That
did
was
we?
the two.
What happened?
Life.
I don't
We
know.
just went on like a
Love-
half-hour
love
rant
happens,
about
dude.
nothing. What the
Nah,
fuck
we
just
did,
happened?
dude. It's fat asses versus skinny hot girls. There's a case for both here.
Oh, it's because of Kate Moss, and we just
Yeah, dude.
and we all decided that she's gross.
That's
I
the
did not.
news.
You said it.
Nobody-
No one.
I think she's
Everyone said
gorgeous.
it.
We've got
I'm
4
on.
out of 5. You're the only holdout here.
Again.
We've all said she's
Again.
gorgeous. Again. It is always you that is the holdout.
I'm gonna go with Dan on the pass. If she wasn't Kate Moss, like if she wasn't Kate Moss and she was just a girl who looked like that.
Well, what
But
are you trying to
she
do?
is.
She's like 53, right? So it's not like you're trying to get her pregnant so you can lock down that boat long term.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's not an option. So what are you doing?
Nothing.
Maybe get AIDS and then give it to her so you at least limit her options a little bit?
Kinda. Or some sort of like mental gaslighting. Keep her around.
I understand, Giorgio. A man's got to do what he's got to do. How old are you right now?
32 years young.
Yeah. You got about 3 to 5 years to make that decision.
Do I?
Yeah.
With a hair like this?
Yep.
To make what decision? No, you'll be
Life decision.
I mean, you just keep moving your age range for the woman upward as you move upward. That's all it is.
Well, that's what you're gonna have to. But then you're gonna be hitting 60s. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I don't
that's
want to
gonna
date
be-
women my own age.
That's what I'm gonna say, dude. Like,
Well, once you're like fucking,
And then they start going down again.
If you're fit, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but
I
you
did-
have to have secured her boat, and she has died by that point. So
Yes.
now you're using that money to funnel back down to some other poor slob like yourself.
Is this trickle-down economics?
Yes.
It
This
is.
is what Reagan was talking about.
And he was correct in that. So you're welcome. Again, not only podcast hosts, we're fucking educators as well. I say that all the time on the show. But Johnny's free, not from prison, obviously, because it was not a prison case in this one. It was purely financial. And he got about $13 million in this, and he'll be back in movies.
But he did lose
very quickly. He lost one that was $2 million,
Well, no,
but I believe
the UK case.
Correct.
Yeah, he lost. So why? I mean, I guess
It's really hard. So he lost. He didn't lose to Amber Heard in that. She didn't write an op-ed in a UK paper.
Right.
He lost suing the tabloid for saying he was an abuser and all this stuff. And it's really fucking hard to sue public. It's really hard to get that type of defamation ruling or whatever in the UK. It's really hard to go after tabloids. There's a reason that like people hate Rupert Murdoch in the UK way more than in America because his tabloids are fucking bananas. We were talking about it before the show.
By the way, it's hard here as well. Like this case is an anomaly, but you take that Sarah Palin case that went down a few months ago. In my opinion, that was clearly defamatory and it was clearly with malicious intent, and that the New York Times just did not give a fuck. And I'm not a Sarah Palin fan by any stretch of the imagination, but they sided with the New York Times on that because these fucking suits against the media mean nothing. Like you have like a 4% chance of winning, which is why nobody ever sues. It's going to take, like Rittenhouse still hasn't filed yet. Kyle Rittenhouse still hasn't filed these suits yet.
Yeah.
The last time I can remember somebody doing it successfully was Richard Jewell.
no Sandman.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Nicholas
Yeah.
Sandman made a
Yes.
lot of money.
Rittenhouse just teamed up with Sandman's lawyer today.
Yeah.
Oh, he did today?
Today, I just read it right before the
Look at
show
that.
went on.
That's- Fuck me.
Sometimes you just when you're what's the old Sun Tzu statement? If your enemy's making a mistake, don't stop him or don't interrupt him. I believe. The left could learn something about this. The dumb, crazy people on the right, on the fringe of the right, if they just left them to their own devices, would fizzle out because of incompetence at some point. In the same way, the left media apparatus and politicians going after Sandman and fucking, what's his nuts? The other kid, Wisconsin kid. What's his name?
Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse, yeah. Kyle Rittenhouse, yeah.
Them going after him so hard, I hope it fucking bankrupts them finally, and that's just it.
Yeah.
Like there's no more CNN, there's no more any of this bullshit. And
It'd be great.
Yeah, that would be. But they've been making huge mistakes. Like you wouldn't have wanted to try to talk CNN out of CNN Plus. Just let that happen, right? Like if you see those lemmings walking over the cliff, just be like, hey man. Fucking cliffs.
Yeah. What are you going to do, man? Danger, you know? Next up, sponsor-wise, we got BioOptimizer's magnesium. Kids, what we're talking about today, everybody takes magnesium. Do you take it on a daily basis?
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Sure do.
Same. And it's one of those things that we all take, and it's like, all right, great. Who do I take and why? BioOptimizers is one of the best in the biz. And they've got the magnesium, friends. They got all of it there. I know this is unsexy, but it's a pill we take every fucking day. Anybody past, age fucking 20 at this point, I would say, takes this. And this is just going direct to your house, so you don't have to worry about it. It's magbreakthrough.com/drinkinbros, and you're going to use the promo code drinkinbros for 10% off of any order. Again, it's not a sexy product, but everybody takes it and you don't have a choice. First of all, magnesium is involved in 80% of the body's metabolic reactions. Second, about 75% of people are not getting enough magnesium. I'm sure you've been to your doctor and he says, hey, dude, you know what you should consider? Taking some magnesium. You need to do it. It's one of those things you need to do. I know it's not the funnest product. I know it's not cocaine. I know it's not heroin.
Maybe they should make it like Goody's headache powder, but it's magnesium and you just
get a little toot on it. Be
Yeah.
nice, dude. Everything's better snorted, I feel like.
Probably not.
Probably not. But they've got the magnesium. They'll ship it right to your house. It's a much bigger problem than people think. If you suffer from poor sleep, low energy, or even higher stress levels, a nice little bottle of Magnesium Breakthrough will get you 7 unique forms of organic full-spectrum magnesium, which can dramatically improve your health. Can help you sleep longer and deeper, reduce stress levels, and give you abundant, all-day energy to win at life. So for this exclusive offer, go to www.magbreakthrough.com/drinkinbros. Use Drinkin Bros during checkout to save 10% and get free shipping. One last thing, if you want your loved ones to be healthier, consider giving them the gift of Magnesium Breakthrough for Father's Day. That's a nice thing coming up. Because let's face it, your dad's probably going to forget. He's a dummy. So am I. That special link again is www.magbreakthrough.com/drinkinbros. Use promo code drinkinbros during checkout to save 10% off and get free shipping there. We all use it.
Well,
super simple.
Yeah, and if you're wondering why magnesium, it's a cofactor molecule. So it's a molecule that helps other things happen. It helps in calcium turning into more bone density. It helps your body break down proteins in your food to give you, or proteins and fats in your food to give you energy. So if you're feeling like slack ass all the time, like you can't get out of bed, there's a decent chance that you should improve your diet, but also a supplement like this can really help.
It can, absolutely. So check it out, dude. It's coming to your house, 10% off, promo code Drinkin Bros and free shipping. Next up, it's Pride Month. Hello. Do we need to put up the logo?
Yeah,
Giorgio?
put that logo up
Can we
again.
put the logo up
Just,
just so people know that we take Pride Month super seriously around here? A lot of people don't, Giorgio. They're like, oh, man, I wonder if these guys take Pride Month.
What is he looking for?
Yes, we do. Did you pop it on here?
No, I think it's on our story.
It's on our story. Well,
Or it was.
It was on our story, Giorgio. I think you made it for us, didn't you?
Yeah, it's on that computer. What the fuck are you doing?
You're better than that, Giorgio. You're better than that, okay? You made it on that computer. Show our Pride logo. Let everybody know that we're proud, okay?
Yeah, you're really ruining everybody's lives right now.
Yeah, because it's once again that time of year when corporations add rainbows to all their logos. We've done it as well because it just wasn't enough. Damn it, wasn't enough.
It comes in funny iterations, and it shows you. I say this all the time, but there's no sense of irony on the left. So they do. Here we go.
There it is.
So they do a lot of dumb shit like this to virtue signal. The funniest so far that's come out from this particular Pride Month was from Everyman Jack. You see it at Target. It's the fucking body wash.
Yeah.
That's in the brown bottle. They made a post that said "Groom with Pride."
No way.
I guess they haven't been paying attention to all the groomer accusations levied against the entire left, but mostly against people that are talking about
Well,
gay
I
shit.
also think that community probably grooms well in the other more.
Yeah, the other sense of the word groom. However, it's too close.
No,
you know?
I get it.
Yeah.
I understand that groom also means to groom oneself.
Yeah.
Right? I get it.
We all get it.
They must have missed.
Everybody's taking this too far. Is the ice cream still on the shelves, Bob? The Pride ice cream from Walmart.
Yeah, I didn't take that down.
Yeah, that's great value ice cream.
But that's like so.
What about the Gayo?
There's no. Yeah.
Was Gayo real or was that fake?
No, it's fake.
But like the Juneteenth thing, like nobody does that yet anyway. But like Pride, like there's a million Pride ice creams and all kinds of shit like that. So nobody notices. You know what I mean? There's nothing. You can't get offended at that amount of volume at this point. Like, I don't think most LGBT people even like it, but there's just so much that they're like, fine.
Yeah. Can you go to the Marine Corps Instagram, please?
Yeah. Did they do it as well?
Yeah. I don't know about the other branches. I haven't checked yet, but the Marine Corps definitely did. Oh, did they take it down?
No. It's up there? All right. Let's see this fucking thing.
Here
there
we go.
you go.
Can you put that up there and read that caption?
Wow. Read aloud, Bob. Read aloud.
During the month of June, the Marine Corps takes pride in recognizing and honoring the contributions of our LGBTQ service members. We remain committed to fostering an environment free from discrimination and defend the values of treating all equally with dignity and respect.
So they've got rainbow bullets there, Dan.
Yeah, well, no matter whose dick you suck, we'll fucking shoot you. It's the Marine Corps. They're paid to murder people, man. That fucking thing on his IR band is supposed to say "Born to Kill." It's from fucking.
I was gonna say it was really
Full Metal
weird that
Jacket.
they
Full
went
Metal
with
Jacket.
the Full Metal Jacket helmet for this.
And pop that up. There you go.
Yeah, man.
Like of all the things, by all means celebrate your gay members, but this is a weird fucking way to do it.
Boy.
What if a company just made a post, no flags, no rainbows, and it just said, "We don't give a fuck if you're gay or not."
Yeah. That'd be nice. Hey, we don't
Cool.
care.
I
We
don't-
stopped caring about whether you came out or gay people 20 years ago, probably at this point. Like, no one cares anymore. No one cares if you're gay.
Yeah,
It's never been a thing anymore. Well, who was the last big one to come out? Colton Underwood? And everybody was like, cool, man. So what?
I still
cares?
remember in the early 2000s when Clay Aiken came out, and everyone's like, "Oh, really, Clay? You don't say, bud."
He's so brave.
Yeah, like you're gay? No shit. Thanks for the fucking info, buddy. Everybody knew you were fucking gay from the time you were like 6 years old.
Yeah, dude. Nobody cares, Clay. No one cares. But they obviously care about our logo, and we care about it. So we're going Pride this month for our logo, and I'm kidding. I think that's just for Instagram and Instagram only. But you're going to see a ton of this for the next month out of every fucking virtue signaling company there is.
Well, yeah, they virtue signal when it's convenient, though. So BMW, if you look at all of theirs, I'm pretty sure somebody's posted a screen capture of this, but if you go to Instagram or Twitter and you type in BMW in the search bar and you look down the list of results, you'll see rainbow flag, rainbow flag, rainbow flag, and this BMW Middle East, and it's just the normal BMW logo.
Yeah, BMW Egypt has not partaken.
No, that's strange, right? Why?
So they care a little,
A little bit.
just not enough to actually do anything.
And what's
They're
funny
just
is like
trying to market. It's called capitalism.
Right.
Sell a few more BMWs.
Is there no gay people in Egypt? Is that what it is? Or they just don't want you to be gay there?
Can I read you a quote
It's
from Full
rhetorical.
Metal Jacket, by the way?
Go ahead.
Is it about people being green?
Well, it's just, in relation to the Marine Corps post. And
Sure, yeah.
Anyway, this is the first quote that shows up on IMDb from Gunnery Sergeant Hartman. I bet you're the kind of guy that would fuck a person in the ass and not even have the goddamn common courtesy of to give him a reach around. I'll be watching you.
Yeah. That's an
nice.
important one. There's also one that says,
Steers.
well, no.
That's Officer and a Gentleman.
Yeah. Well, no, they say it here too, I think.
Oh, they do? Okay.
Yeah. But it's about people being green. Like, you're not. He uses a series of racial slurs and then says, you're all green. You're either light green or dark green or whatever. Seems like that might be apropos these days. I don't know. What are you going to do, man? Pride, bro.
What are you going to do? It's pride, dude. It's absolute fucking pride. And take pride in what you're eating out there. We got the Righteous Felon jerky with us today, D'Anthony. My internet is down here, so you might have to read this ad, but this is the best goddamn jerky on the planet these days. A lot of jerky companies are selling out because meat is so expensive, and they don't have any more. We finally found a company that we love that has it in stock, and we're buying and eating the shit out of this. It is righteousfelon.com. This Marilyn Monroe, I've eaten almost the entire bag today.
I like the buffalo.
Buffalo's good.
Yeah, it's like it's a little bit spicy without being too spicy, and then there's the Carolina. If you like spicy shit like that, Carolina Reaper's on there as well.
Yeah, boy, I fucking burned my mouth off.
Yeah, I'm not really into that, but
A lot of people are, but I'm hitting up Andrew now. I don't have internet, so I don't have that ad, Bob. But what I'm saying is this: the Righteous Felon's goddamn delicious. I'll go off the cuff here, so I don't give a shit. I've eaten a bag and a half of this. I did try the Voodoo Child Carolina Reaper. It's really fucking good, but it's we're obviously from North Carolina, so dude, Jesus Christ, the Reaper will get you in the end.
Baby Blues barbecue is good too. Andrew says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delicious, dude. Big fan of these. Tell Andrew to update.
I got it right here.
The old air table there.
It's in there.
Fire away, Bob.
I got it.
Go
Look,
ahead,
you get
Bob.
15% off with the promo code Drinkin' Bros at checkout. Head over to righteousfelon.com and use the link that will be in, or already is if you're listening later.
In our description, yeah.
In the description. Like, this is legitimately the best jerky. By the way, if you're into it or you can't eat red meat or whatever, also some of the best turkey jerky you've ever had. The Fal Capone turkey jerky, real good. They've got a truffle flavor. They've got actually
Truffle's bomb, dude.
The truffle one's good. They have Old Bay if you're a Maryland weirdo.
I am. So here's the thing. I just said that. Like, the bag that I was eating all goddamn day was this Maryland Monroe, and it's got Chesapeake crab spice on it. I've never had that in my entire life, and it is delightful. Holy shit.
You've
I've eaten
never
this
had
entire
Old Bay?
bag. Not on jerky. Have you had it on jerky before?
No.
What are
I
you
haven't
like?
either.
What are you like, a Zatarans guy or what?
What do you mean?
Never mind.
For spice, I get it. Which, by the way, I was at a grocery store last night, and Old Bay just has their own hot sauce now.
Yeah.
Do they really?
I kind of want to buy it.
They probably got like fucking chewing gum too, though, right?
True.
Like you just put your stuff in whatever people are using.
Whatever, man. This shit on jerky though is fucking bomb. Why has nobody ever done it? Is what I don't understand.
Because they're not as smart or cool as Righteous
I
Felon.
guess,
We
man.
put on fries.
But even the bags are cool. They've got, fucking cow felons on here. It's the best. Go to righteousfelon.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros. 15% off? It's 15, Bob? Yeah. 15% off. Let's fucking go.
And if you're wondering about the name, it's that every cow they butcher for this has committed a felony.
Correct.
So not only are we serving justice, we're serving a delicious meat.
We are. And a lot of people are out of fucking jerky these days because of price. When we met with them, they said, we are fully stocked, so fire away. Buy all the things because it's some of the best I've had. We've had some jerky companies on over the years, and they've sold out. A lot of them have sold out over the years, man. Not Righteous Felon. They're in stock. Go to righteousfelon.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros. 15% off. They have good what, Bob?
I would say it's not just the jerky. They also sent us meat sticks, sausages, too, and those are really good as well.
I have not had those.
Yeah, I had a couple. They might be gone already, but they were really fucking good.
You fucking jackals, dude. God damn it. Next up, Paul Pelosi busted for a DUI. 82-year-old husband of House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was arrested in Napa, California over the weekend and charged with drunk driving. Do we have a fucking mugshot of this guy yet, or is that hidden forever?
I mean, it should be on the California Department.
One would think, and it would be everywhere. But I have yet to see it, and I wonder who is hiding this fucking thing. Type in Paul Pelosi mugshot and see if it comes up. It's not there, right? Weird as shit.
Let's make one. Somebody out there make us a Paul Pelosi mugshot.
Yeah, all fucked up. Because I want to know what an 82-year-old looks like after crashing his vehicle into multiple cars and then taking a mugshot.
So I have a screenshot, I think, of the booking situation or whatever from the Napa County Criminal Justice Network. I will look on that website in a second.
What time was it?
It was just before midnight
Yeah.
when he got pulled over, but the booking probably wasn't until 2 hours.
Well,
after
when
that.
did he get released? Does that say 5:11 a.m.? 5:11?
4:30. Book date time is 4:13 a.m.
Wow. All right, so he was there for a while. And then what time did he get out?
Probably shortly after.
Yeah.
I think he was able to afford the $5,000 bail.
Oh, for sure, but that still takes time, man.
Did he just give him like some shares in Microsoft for that? Or
Just
Yeah.
one of his shoes, actually.
Just a watch. He just left his watch. Take my third watch.
Wait, multiple people in the chat here are saying Paul Pelosi also killed his own brother in a car crash 45 years ago.
Okay, now we gotta fucking solve this crime today. Type in Paul Pelosi
Well, I believe
murdering his brother.
The crime has already been solved,
Yeah.
Well, hang on.
but let's reflect on it.
Hang on. Let's see if this is actually a crime, because that could be an internet hoax. That would be weird if he killed his brother.
He killed his brother in a 1957 car crash. He was 19 at the time, I think. Let's see.
Well, killed him.
Pelosi?
Like, what does it
Paul
mean?
Pelosi was 16 when he crashed his car near San Mateo.
Fucking A, dude. Was he wasted?
Crashing your car doesn't mean you killed somebody. Like, it could have been a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, that makes Laura Bush a murderer as well.
Well, she is, but
She is.
did
She is a murderer.
and Ted Kennedy even more so.
Yeah, dude.
Ted Kennedy is...
That's great.
So he was speeding, basically.
Was he wasted?
I'm not seeing that. And his brother, already had a broken neck when they got into the crash.
God damn
What,
it,
from
dude.
a previous crash or
I
what?
guess. I don't know, man.
Paul shouldn't be driving. He's the Tiger Woods of white men.
Did they have DUIs back in the 50s?
Probably not.
Don't think so. It was just like, who's your family? Oh, the Montgomerys? I'll give you a ride home to the Montgomery family. Fuck that, dude. So his brother had a broken neck and then he killed him afterwards? What a terrible way to die. Like, going through a broken neck would be worse. Like, I mean, bad enough, but then you're going to get killed right afterwards. That's fucking terrible.
I don't suppose you know that you're dead, though, so it's probably fine.
I guess.
Paul-
But one would imagine there's probably a good 30-second stretch where you're sitting there next to Paul and you're like, why did you do this to me, you son of a bitch?
Well, right before the crash, allegedly, his older brother was like, Paul, slow down.
Are you serious?
I am serious, yes.
Well, who reported that?
Yeah.
And by the way, a highway patrolman. And also, it should be known, this is apparently the crash scene from the current DUI.
Oh, let's see it. Pop it up on screen. In Napa.
I
it's
hope he better
beautiful.
not have ran over any grapes. 'Cause
Grapes
that's
look okay.
Not into that.
Well, he hit a couple cars. I mean, the cars are gone, and that still remains right there. But the fact that they're only using this photo is weird because his mugshot should be out and available to the public. Fucking TMZ has every celebrity 10 seconds after they get arrested.
Reminds me of one of my favorite jokes ever, which is that Nick Nolte's mugshot is just Gary Busey.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to pull up Nick Nolte's mugshot?
Yeah, that's an infamous one. Pop that one up there. You know who else has a sweet mugshot that I forgot to bring up when he was on air? It was TJ Miller. TJ Miller has the best mugshot I've ever seen.
Was he wearing like fucking braids or something?
No, he's doing like a Joker face, and it's really fucking funny. Any one of those will work, Bob. There you go. There you go.
Sorry, I accidentally pulled up the shopping section at the top of the search because I forgot you can buy posters of this.
Yes. That's
Yeah,
right.
that's basically just Gary Busey.
It's the Joker too. Like, my God, dude. Pull up TJ Miller's mugshot. It's a really good one. He was on the show. Love TJ Miller. Very hilarious dude. Has one of the funniest mugshots of all time, and he did it intentionally. Top left there. There you go. Nope, the black and white one. Top left. Yep. There you go. Boom. Pop that up full screen for the people.
May as well. They can't arrest you more.
Exactly. This was a great one, dude.
Can't pull over anyone.
That's got to be from Perez Hilton, who wrote words on his face. Yeah, that's old school shit. That's so fucking funny, dude. Way to go. Yeah, they can't arrest you even more. You might as well go for it in your mugshot like that. Nolte clearly did, you know? He also didn't bother to even touch one strand of hair in his head in that mugshot.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's easier to disassociate yourself in this situation from your normal self if you let yourself look all fucked up like that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or he was a shit face, which I think is actually the case.
Okay. Next up, we got hardafseltzer.com. 8% seltzers right here on the desk. You can see them there. We got the blue rat. Is there 2 blue razzes? Did some fucking drunkard drink one of the other flavors?
Yeah, the lemon lime is gone.
Jesus Christ, dude. What is wrong with this office? I feel like we've got to hide the monk pack. We've got to hide the righteous felon. Now we've got to hide the fucking seltzer.
It's been like that the entire time.
Fuck you guys, dude. No, you're drinking it, dude. You're the fucking producer. Look and change it then, for Christ's sakes. You're better than this. But you're not better than hardafseltzer.com. 8% seltzer, blue raz, lemon lime, peach, strawberry shortcake. We deliver to 42 states right to your doorstep. Tennessee actually just bought 100 cases today, and that'll be out in stores soon. Hop Springs is already selling it, so if you're in Hop Springs, you can go there and buy it by the 12-pack and enjoy your life. And buy as many as you want. We don't care. They're also selling singles there if you're staying at the bar and drinking. We will also be at Seltzerland this weekend in Philadelphia. Delco, that's your home state. I think tickets are almost sold out for that already. Over 100 seltzers that are going to be there. Hard AF will obviously be there. You can get some free samples. Party with Andrew. And if you go to the Seltzerland website, which will be in the description, buy tickets. I believe it's DB20 for 20% off those tickets. But go and try it if you haven't had it. It's there at the booth. And then you can go home and just order it online at hardafseltzer.com. will ship to 42 states. Let's fucking go. Let's party. Matter of fact, Giorgio, will you grab one for me while I get into this next story? I'll rip one open today. It's that kind of day today, Giorgio.
What flavor?
I appreciate it. Doesn't matter because they're all good. I don't really care. I'll literally have any one of those fucking things. They're so good. Next up, Canada is taking away their guns, and they're giving citizens cocaine instead, by the way, Dan.
Is it?
Nice.
I thought it was meth.
Cocaine, actually.
Good for them.
Yeah, and I'm super psyched on that. So they're going to decriminalize cocaine, but they're taking all your guns away by doing a 6-month, thank you very much, Giorgio, 6-month freeze on all gun sales. And that is in response to what has been going on in America, obviously, because Canada doesn't have the same gun problems as the United States.
Does that sound anything like 2 weeks to flatten the curve?
Yes.
Okay.
And so for me, I know we talked about this at the top of the show. Then you have the extreme of this, right? Which is what's happening in Canada, where all of their rights have been taken away. And so I understand both sides of this with the gun issue, right? Because if you give the government a little power, they're going to take the fucking rest of it and do shit to the extreme. Canada is the perfect example with this story. They've locked all their fucking citizens in for, 2+ years for COVID. I think it's not only mandatory to have the vaccine, but 2 boosters there, I believe.
If you want to have a job,
right.
Which for police and first responders, they're going to end that on the 21st of this month, is my understanding. But for regular folk to get a job or to leave the country, or get back into the country. Yeah.
And now they're going to take away everybody's guns. So the power in Canada is clearly with the government and no one else. Like the citizens don't even matter anymore.
No, it's never a good idea. And this is the crux of the 2A argument is that the government or the state should never have a monopoly on violence, because then you're just a hostage negotiating with your hostage taker, right? And that's not what our founders intended, and it's not what any of us want. Canada's fucked though. It's well beyond saving at this point.
I agree.
Like they're going rapidly downhill. There is a small counter movement to this kind of thing, but they don't. It's very the amount of people that value self protection up there, self defense by way of gun rights. It's a much smaller community than it is here, and they're gonna figure out exactly why it's so important pretty soon, or they have been, I guess, for the last 2 years, but it's going to get way worse.
So my question is this: why haven't we heard a lot of bitching out of Canada?
I mean, they do a good job. So think about this: RBC, the bank, right, ended their contracts with their sponsor contracts with anybody that is going to take part in the Saudi Golf League. Right. The RBC is also one of the 3 banks, including Scotiabank, that froze private citizens' bank accounts if they gave $20 or more to the fucking Freedom Convoy people for food and water, right? That's who you're dealing with there. So they have Canada has what is effectively a state-run media, although there's some like Rebel News and some other organizations that are outside of it, but they censor quite a bit. And people are really comfortable up there, or were really comfortable. So, that comfort is cancer. And it's not that you shouldn't ever want comfort or enjoy it when you have it. It's that you should always remember that this can all be taken away from you, right? The reason that you stay strong, the reason that you keep your guns, the reason that you keep your country strong, even if you are kind of one of these leave me alone kind of people, the reason that you get involved in your community and make sure your community is strong, your country is strong, is to keep shit like this from happening, because evil is always at the door, always, and it always will be. And this is fucking evil, what's going on in Canada.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I'm surprised, Twitter and social media hasn't been flooded with it. To me, it just seems, and maybe because I'm not there, that it seems like Canadians just don't give a shit about this. Which may be the case. I don't fucking know. I don't know what the case is in Australia either.
Yeah, I mean, I hear a lot of people.
We hear our listeners, but I don't hear collectively a country bitching about it.
Yeah.
Whereas like collectively, people are bitching about gun control in this country.
Yeah, I haven't paid enough attention to this for Canada to know if there are major politicians that are anti-gun control up there. I'm sure there are some, but whether or not they're represent, like the opposition party in Canada right now is kind of teamed up with the main party, and the third lower parties is kind of dealing with the aftermath of that. And that's why, like, let's say libertarianism became popular enough in the United States, and people who are on the right, who are tired of the Republicans, became confident enough in their ability to win that they actually switched over and only voted for libertarian candidates. Let's say that happened. The first thing that would happen is that Republicans and Democrats would team up against them, and that's what's happened in Canada.
Yeah, yeah, it's a wild situation, and it seems to just be getting worse there. But I don't hear any chatter about it, which is even stranger to me.
What's the boiling frog, right? Like you don't throw the frog into boiling water. You put the frog in the water, put it on the stove, and then slowly turn the heat up. And before the frog knows what's happened, now it's too late.
Well, I put the frog in afterwards. I let it boil.
It's just 2 weeks to flatten the curve. It's just 6 months pausing gun sales. It's just this. It's just that until you have nothing left to give.
Yeah, what's your prediction on that? Because he said it's going to be Trudeau. Or Castro Jr., whatever you believe, says it's going to be 6 months. I think not a prayer. I think this will go on forever, right? You can't just do 6 months.
No, but definitely not. Because they'll either say, well, this hasn't fixed the problem, so we need another 6 months. The same thing they did with COVID, right? Mm-hmm. Or they'll say, look how well this worked. We should never go back. It'll be one of those two things. The cocaine thing, though. I think it was only British Columbia that they're doing like a 3-year test run to decriminalize drugs or something like that.
Right. And so they're going to decriminalize. Canada has agreed to decriminalize cocaine.
Yeah.
I was not aware that Canada also got down like that with cocaine. Weed, yes. They've been fucking one of the leaders in weed. Vancouver and all those guys have had the best weed for years and years and years. Cocaine, though, that's a strange one to me. But apparently it's prevalent enough that you have to come out and announce a bill that you're going to decriminalize it. So this policy, anyone who possesses up to 2.5 grams for personal use won't be arrested or charged. I only know 8 balls. How much is 2.5 grams, Giorgio? You're the drug guy.
An 8 ball is 3.5 grams.
Oh, it is?
It's an eighth of an ounce.
So you're just under an 8 ball there?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That takes place, becomes effective January 31st of next year, and it applies to all opioids, cocaine, methamphetamine, and ecstasy. All opioids would include, by the way, heroin.
No shit. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that?
Some countries have done this before.
Well, didn't Washington do it as well, or was it Oregon?
No, just Seattle.
Oh, Seattle, okay.
But they did it not to make a point. They just did it because they don't believe in law enforcement. But there have been states... When I say states, I mean countries who have done this before. I think Portugal is one that people point to a lot. Mm-hmm. What they don't point to, and what Michael Schellenberger, who, by the way, if you're in California, you should be voting for him for governor. What Michael Schellenberger points out all the time in these discussions about Portugal is that they took the money that they were spending on drug task force and all this other stuff and spent it on drug rehabilitation and psychiatric treatment and helping people find jobs and shit like that, right? So, yeah, decriminalizing definitely works.
Okay.
But only if we heal what led them to that in the first place. Like, there are a lot of people, myself included, Giorgio is one of them. I know quite a few people like this that can recreationally use drugs and it doesn't really affect our lives at all.
Sure.
There are some people for whom that is not a possibility.
Oh, yeah.
And for those people... typically, they turn to this for some reason or another. Maybe it's just boredom, right? Could be boredom, but giving them some time to break the habit and then find purpose, find some other way to stimulate their brain that isn't going to drive them down the fucking toilet. That's all really important.
I've got a weird one here for you on this one, and this might be controversial, but I think it would be fine to legalize all of this shit if it was clean and we knew it was clean and it wasn't like fentanyl. Bob and I had this conversation on another show about how a lot of this coke that's coming in has got fentanyl in it. If I knew this shit was clean and then you're decriminalizing it, fine. But now if you're going to decriminalize it and you don't know what's in there, this could inadvertently cause more deaths.
Well, it's different. Like decriminalizing, like the government has no control of the production of any of this. It's just if you get caught with it, you're not going to get in trouble.
Right, but getting in trouble was usually the deterrent for, hey, dude, I can't. I'm not just going to go buy coke off the fucking, drug dealer's
Testing
cousin.
Kit, I always suggest everyone test your drugs. Testing kits are super easy to buy online. They're very cheap. Test your drugs.
And what is it exactly? So how do you test cocaine, for example?
You take a little small piece and you put it in a little tray, and then you dip it, and then it goes on paper, and whatever the color changes are is like, and you'll shake it up in a little vial, depending on which kind you get.
If it turns blue, then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, the more you know. I wish we could put that fucking jingle in here,
Probably could.
Well, let's give it a go. It a go. Last but not least here, add strawberries to the list of things that are giving people hepatitis. That's a fun one. First, it was, am I drinking strawberry shortcake? Hard AF? That's lemon lime. All right, cool. I didn't know if I was getting hepatitis today. You never know. First, it was Pamela and Tommy Lee. Then it was the flu. Now, strawberries are the latest culprit behind hepatitis outbreaks in the United States. 2 brands of organic strawberries sold at major chains such as Trader Joe's and Walmart may be linked to an outbreak of hepatitis A, according to the FDA. That's fucking fun, isn't it? God damn it, man.
What's
Are you
the
kidding me?
difference between A, B, and C is the one that you get from heroin needles and dicks. So what's A? What's hepatitis A? Does anybody know?
No, I don't know that. But I don't even want to think about that when I go to fucking HEB after the show is over. My kids eat strawberries every goddamn morning.
It's a vaccine-preventable liver infection. So that's probably why we don't hear about it.
Jesus Christ. Why don't we just light everything on fire? Because we're all fucked. Like, everything is kind of fucked, right? We're getting fucking Hep A from strawberries and shit?
Well, I mean, is it like fucking 12 people? Because, shit happens sometimes.
I don't know, dude.
We've gotten, this is the other thing about the gun situation that permeates the rest of regular culture is our perspective has changed so much. Like, we think we're entitled to safety and comfort instead of the reality, which is that you have to fight every day for safety and comfort.
Like Russia.
Well, no, they're...
They've got to fight every day for potatoes.
I think they're fighting for a madman over there, but...
They don't want to.
Like, if your expectation is that things should always go right, and that when they don't, that's somebody's problem, somebody's doing that to you, that's a pretty shitty way to go through life. And you're going to be extremely disappointed. How did Dennis Leary put it? I wanted to be a starting center fielder for the Boston Red Sox. Life sucks. Get a fucking helmet.
Yeah. HEB, though, did release a statement here that's saying we're good. Like, none of our strawberries are tainted with this, so we're fine. At least I have that comfort, That's my only grocery store for Christ's
Someone in the
sakes.
chat said it comes from poo and breast milk sometimes as well. No, I'm sorry. Hep B is blood and breast milk. Hep A is from poop. So it's probably shit that was left on the strawberries.
Oh, who's shitting on strawberries, dude?
That's why you gotta
Fertilizer, bitch.
wash your fruit.
I don't, because I want to be immune. I'm like the dude from fucking Princess Bride. I've been poisoning myself every day for the last 35 years, and I'm not going to stop.
It's the only way to do it.
Yeah.
I think the only way, too, is to just take fentanyl and start to get used to it. Build up a fentanyl tolerance.
I don't know if that's possible.
Is it not?
I doubt it. No.
All right. Well,
But you
shit.
should let your kids go outside and play in the dirt from time to time.
Now, that I do all the time.
Yeah. I mean, if you get the opportunity, grab them by their feet and drag their face through the dirt.
Don't do that.
Yeah, do it. I mean, it's teach them to
definitely
protect their teeth and shit.
Don't do that. Yeah.
They need to get dirty and cuts and all this
Well, they
stuff.
do all the things on their own, but yeah, I'm not going to drag them through the mud.
Shoot them with paintball guns like Tim did to that dude.
Could you imagine taking kids out and you're the one that's shooting them with paintball guns?
That was our the options we had about 10 years ago with all this safetyism bullshit was either let kids go back outside and inconvenience parents a little bit so they can get exposed to things early on, or let's just force vaccinate everybody. Those were our options, and we chose fucking playoffs are on, man.
Yeah.
Can't miss that.
I can't miss that.
All right, cool, bud. Yeah.
Can't miss that.
And you would think the way things work, we should be swinging back around because now everything is streaming, right?
Yeah.
So you can watch whatever you want whenever you want. What's keeping parents from taking their kids outside now? What is it? It's not. Is it work? I guess, right?
It depends. Like we've been trying to figure this out, my wife and I, where it's like, did everybody just get so used to COVID or paranoid about it that, socially it's more acceptable to be like, oh, no, they're going to stay in the house. And because a lot of people are homeschooling now more than ever too. And
well, that's good. I mean, you should just, if you're going to homeschool, find 3 or 4 other families in your neighborhood that want to do the same, and you guys can do a fucking co-op. I mean, it's not a monkey co-op, which, by the way, if you want a sticker for a monkey co-op, there's one right here.
Oh, you got one?
Oh, yeah, it's on the website.
Is it on the website?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, some of my friends, when I was in church, like from 10 to 15 or whatever, they did that.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, there would be 6 or 8 kids. One week, one parent would have them out of the group, and they would administer all the shit, and then another parent, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So they still got the social aspect of it, and usually graduated when they were 16 and had a much better education than they would have gotten at a fucking public education system.
Well,
so
where are we at,
I don't know.
Were any of you fuckers homeschooled back there?
Fuck no.
Nah, obviously not you, Delco. Giorgio?
No.
Okay.
I was pulled out of school a lot to then go to athletic practices. I checked out of school early a lot.
Same.
Yeah.
I was educated by the Lord.
Were you?
Yeah.
By God himself.
Yep.
There it is. Proud of you. Proud of you. No, I'm proud. He deserves that, dude. Ah, that's nice.
Wrong button.
When Jesus himself has taught you, you'll be a better man. So I'm proud of you, Bob. Catholic school for you?
Yeah, preschool through high school.
You went P through H, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, that's intense.
Does it no? What do you mean P through H?
Preschool.
No one says that.
Yeah, they do.
It's K.
Everyone says
It's
P through
K-12.
H, dude.
No. It's before K. It's P.
Yeah. From the age of 3 to the age of 18, I was educated by the Catholic Church.
Can you at least do this when you say educated? Make air quotes.
Well, also by the second most popular Catholic school in the city.
Oh, so you're a loser?
Yeah, didn't go to the cool. Wait, which one's number 1?
I don't know.
Tough
Did
call.
you just make that up, George?
No, he went to CBC, so he's officially number 2. That's Slew's number 1, probably.
Slew's the smartest.
Yeah.
But then you've got like the ritzier ones like Priory and Chaminade and shit.
Right, Chaminade was one other one I was going to think of.
Chaminade's the athletic, like they're the ones that crank out the pro athletes.
Makes
Right,
sense.
but you guys are
Okay.
always number 2 for some reason.
Yeah.
Chaminade sounds like a fucking Motown singer or something.
Yeah, it does.
Next up, Chaminade.
Welcome to the stage, Chaminade.
Including former Golden State Warrior David Lee.
They're on tonight. Warriors are on tonight. Game 1, -4 for the Warriors. Go to mybookie.com. Promo code Drinkin' Bros. Double your deposit. I'm all in on the Warriors tonight. Let's go. Next up, we got the Drinkin' Bro of the week. We're submitting through the website still, correct?
Yep.
Okay, so go to drinkinbros.com, submit your Drinkin' Bro of the week. It just comes directly into our inbox. We did miss some, though, when I was in the hospital, and I want to apologize for that. So now I'm going to reread some of these that I missed over that 45-day stretch. Because I feel bad. People were hitting me up, and they were like, hey, man, you never read my Drinkin' Bro of the week. And I was like, well, I was also in a coma. So I apologize, but now I'm going to go back in time to when I was in that coma and read Nick Erskine from California, member of Drinkin' Bros since day one. He's a day one homie, he says. He's nominating Nick Erskine, which is himself. And I like that a lot. Proud of you, Nick. From Nick. Reason for the nomination, I'll get your fucking tweet tat, but I'll also need you assholes to autograph the tattooed below and for all of you guys to tattoo. So he wants all of our signatures to do it. Now, obviously, I was in the hospital. This already went down. Lázaro Lopez got that tattoo on episode 1000. Nick, if I would have read this before, obviously, if I never was in the coma, I would have read this and then had you on. I would have loved to have seen that tweet along with all of our signatures. That's what, 5 signatures?
Wait. What was the guy's name?
Nick Erskine.
Erskine.
Erskine?
Yeah.
Okay.
But why are you asking his name?
Well, do you know him?
Nick Erskine.
Does that sound familiar to you?
No, it just sounds like a pun.
Like foreskin?
Nope.
Okay. All right. Hey, I don't know. What's the pun?
We'll get to it
Read the name.
off camera.
Yeah.
Nope. Don't.
Nope, don't know.
Just move on.
Jazz hands.
Move on.
Just move on. I'll explain it to you later.
I don't know
I'll
it.
gi- I'll
I don't
give-
know
I'll-
it. That one's over my head.
I'll give you some.
As it should be.
I'll give you some pudding and explain it to you later
All right. All right.
when you're older.
I don't know. I don't know it. So I'll breeze past it. It's best that I don't know. If I've never been shut down on this show, so it's obviously something horrific. For D'Anthony Holloway, I'm Ross Patterson. This is Drinkin' Bros. Fake news. Good night, everyone.